welcome back, Fred in the shed, and today, as you can hear, we have DX coming in, we have some skip coming in, but we've got whistlers on the 555 now. We've seemed to have lost the music, but we've now got people that are whistling over the calling channel. Don't get me started on that, please. Right, okay, a sort of a midweek video. Just thought I'd add this video because I've had so many comments that came back from the last video, which had those 3 radios set up trying to sort out this noise level that I'm getting into the shack. And I'd like to say really big thank you for all the people that left comments. Totally overwhelmed by the amount of comments trying to sort of help me and suggestions and all that. And I've read them all, and yeah, I'd like to say a massive big thank you. Really surprised how many people offered me sort of some help. So in this video I thought I just sort of go into this noise in a little bit more detail, tell you a couple of things that I've already tried to eliminate it, and also explain what I'm going to be doing in the future to try and sort of tackle this noise moving forward. You remember, it really affects me bad on the 555 here. You can hear it, and it's so disappointing. One thing that I've found that people have asked about the frequencies this affects me, it seems to start at about 27,400. But one thing I've noticed is when I move onto the 10 meter band, right there, it's completely gone. On 10 meters, it's completely gone. So it only seems to affect 11 meters. By 10 meters, it's cleared up. And that sort of, to me, that says that it's a man-made source. It's not a natural noise level. I know a lot of people have come back on the comments and have said, yeah, Fred, you know, I'm in sort of Birmingham, I'm in the Midlands, I've got the same bloody noise, Fred. It's really annoying. It's right across the country. Yeah, I accept that, but I kind of think that if it was completely spread right across sort of the country, how comes it's not coming in on 10 meters? 10 meters is completely clear, and this sort of, to me, indicates that it's a man-made source. It's some kind of, be it one of these Wi-Fi extenders that work on your ring mains in your house, something like that. It's a man-made source, and it's been deliberately filtered out, so it will not affect with 10 meters, which is of course the ham band. And so obviously they build something, it has to be compliant with regulations, and that is to not bleed all over the ham bands. But when it comes down to 11 meters, well, it's just not really, they're not bothering, it's not sort of monitored anymore. And a few people have said, you know, Fred, why don't you get in touch with Ofcom and report the noise? A couple of reasons I won't do that. Firstly is that, to be honest, Ofcom, they're just not interested in 11 meters anymore. It just isn't popular enough to warrant the sort of funding and the resources. So if I was to contact them and say I've got this interference, the moment that I mention it's on a CB band, they just won't be able to do anything about it. They might be sympathetic, but they won't do anything about it. And then of course another reason is me personally, is that I'm not using Ofcom approved equipment. So I'm really not in a position to do that, and yeah, I'd be a bit stupid to open myself up to using this equipment which is not type approved. I know that winds people up, yeah, I accept that, and also especially making videos and things like that. So yeah, so the guys that said that, and also in America, they said, you know, we've reported to the FCC. Ofcom just haven't got the resources. They're just no longer really monitoring the CB band anymore, which is kind of good that you can get away with using equipment like this and the HF radios, but not so good if you've got interference. Another good suggestions which people have come up with is to switch off the main supply in my house and go on to batteries to sort of see if it is a problem with my own house. Now I have done this, I've done this in the past, I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago, and if I just pan down here in the shed, you can just about make out I do have a couple of car batteries that I keep in the shack just for purely if I want to use the radios under, you know, a power cut and things like that. So yeah, I will be charging those batteries up, and in a future video I will be turning off the mains in the house and I will be testing using car batteries. The problem I've got at the moment is I've got everybody furloughed in the house, not working. Well, 2 people. My wife is working right now in the spare room that's been set up as an office, and she's obviously during the day she's working, and everyone's using the Wi-Fi and everything like that. So I can't, not in a position that I can switch off the house mains to test that. I'll have to wait till this COVID-19 kind of pandemic sort of dies down and I'm back on my own on my days off, and then that's something that I can try, but I'll be trying that in the future. Moving on, other people have suggested ferrites in the power lead, and yeah, I have done that. I had a couple knocking about upstairs. I've put one that you can't see that's off camera, that just as before it goes into in the back of the radio there. I've also introduced one there, as you can see, just before the power supply. And also, thanks to Awesome Dave, I did try a little air coil as well, or an air choke, just a little air choke, just to sort of see if I can knock any RF out of that power lead. Unfortunately, as you can hear, that's made sort of no difference. That's a bit. So I have tried that. The power supply itself, now this power supply, if I just pick the camera up, this is the sort of LED power supply that I built a while ago. I know people ask me about it. It's been working absolutely fine. I still recommend these as a cheap power supply. I've had no trouble with it. It's been in the shed shack, when did I build this? About 2017. So it's been 2 years. It's been left out here in the winter, and it still comfortably covers the 10 amps that the 6900 needs. I've not had any issue with it at all. The only thing that I will say, and that's down to my own stupidity, is that I didn't put any ventilation holes in the box, and a few people pointed that out on the video. So yeah, I run it just with the lid open. I really need to vent it. If you copy my design, just make sure that you do put some ventilation holes, because otherwise it will run hot. It's not a good idea to put it in a steel box. But that power supply, yeah, some people have said, is it that switch mode power supply there that's causing the problem? It is a cheap power supply. I don't think it is, to be honest, perfectly honest. I think it's okay, but what I'll do, for the sake of this video, I will go and get another power supply, and we'll swap it over, sort of, well, off camera but live if you like, and then we'll just see whether that cures it. It'd be fantastic if it does, but I might as well do that right now. So just give me a second and I'll go and get the other power supply. Right, going to use this rack type power supply that I've had. It's a 15 amp power supply. It's quite an expensive power supply. It's not really made for sort of CB, but the reason I want to use this one is that it has got a rather large built-in ferrite choke there. Can you see that? In the sort of 240 volt feed. So that's something else that I haven't got in the other supply. So yeah, we can say that's got a ferrite choke, and let's turn that on. And so I've connected it up, and let's have a listen. No, it's exactly the same. So no, it's exactly the same. So that really rules out the power supply. Also, I'm getting the same noise up in the main shack on the HF radios with the noise blanker switched off. It's not phasing it. It's not phasing it out. So well, that's two. So it's not a ferrite choke that's needed in the mains lead, and it's not another power supply. Another issue, this could be RF noise coming through the main supply, especially if people are using those Wi-Fi extenders. And I'd like to thank Alze, A-L-Z-E. He left a really good comment on the last video I did with 3 radios, and I've pinned it. So if you go back to that video, you'll see his comment is pinned. It's the first sort of comment down, and in that he left a link to a guy that did an RSGB lecture, GM3SEK, and in that lecture, it's about a 50-minute video on YouTube, and is discussing all about RF interference coming through into your shack. It's called Clean Up Your Shack. And also in that link is that GM3SEK, he builds his own mains filter, and that looks really interesting. Now, I've looked into that. I think it's something that I'll probably will end up doing. I did start pricing it up, but then the website that I was looking at, the components that he recommends, it all just completely crashed and hung, and it couldn't get through to the checkout. But it was working out. It's not cheap in CB money. It was working out, I think, to come all in about sort of 70 to 80 pounds. So that's something that I probably will leave towards the end, because that's the most expensive sort of option, but I think that's something that might be worth looking into. However, I want to exhaust every other option before I sort of go down that road. But a big thanks there to Alze for leaving that comment. That was really useful. Moving away from RF mains interference coming through, it's possible that this could be radio interference being picked up by the Antron 99. The Antron 99 is known for being quite sensitive antenna and picking up quite a lot of noise. A few people have said They gave up on the Antron 99 because of the noise. I'm not prepared to do that. I'm sticking with my Antron 99. We've got loads of DX coming in this afternoon. It's all over. But yeah, working on that basis, I bought a while ago one of these little X-phase units. This is a QRM noise eliminator. This unit I got here, this was bought off eBay. It came from Russia. Not reasonably priced. If it about 50 to 60 pounds I think I paid, maybe might have just been a fraction more. You can buy this in a kit form and build it yourself. I thought it was surface mount, but I've checked it up and it's not. It's all through hole. So the kit form is about £25 and you can do your own little box. I just decided to, I think I bought it in a kit first and then I couldn't be asked to do it, so I just decided to buy it in a box. Now I've done a video on this. In fact, I've done 2 videos on this. I've done a video that will be coming up on Fred in the Shed shortly, probably at the weekend, where I've sort of tested this. I'm not going to give too much away, but it was a little bit, it's quite difficult to set up and it's a little bit frustrating. And there'll be a longer video over on Fred in the Shed 2 where you'll sort of see me playing with this in more detail and sort of setting it up. And that's sort of kind of what I'm doing these days. I'm sort of going to keep the Fred in the Shed 1 videos, try and keep them a little bit shorter and a little bit more cropped and edited. And then if you want more information or more details, go over to Fred in the Shed 2. That's my second channel if you don't know. And then you'll see a lot more information, a lot more detail, probably less edited because I want to get the video out a little bit quicker. But you'll certainly see more content on the particular sort of subject. So if you're not subscribed to Fred in the Shed 2, then there's no reason, because I say there's probably quite a few radio videos that I've put up there that you may have missed, along with other content. It's not all radio on Fred in the Shed 2. I also do other hobbies, and you'll see other types of content, car mechanics, steam engines, things like that. So that's over on Fred in the Shed 2, and that Fred in the Shed 1 video should be up on the weekend. Finally, the last thing that I am going to get around to doing, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, is, you see this earthing rod here? Well, I'm going to earth out the pole that my Antron 99 is attached to. It's something I've been meaning to do for a couple of years. The reason I haven't done it is that there's quite thick concrete foundations round the side of the house where the Antron 99 is mounted, and I've tried to get this 1 metre copper pole in the ground before, and I've just hit loads and loads of concrete. But we've got some fence posts being replaced in a couple of weeks, and I'm hoping the guys are going to come along with sort of heavy duty Kango drills, and I'm going to try and grab them and say, here mate, would you just dig a hole for me down there, and hopefully they'll do it. So I'm going to get this copper rod in the ground as far as I can, and I'm going to attach that to the pole of the Antron 99. Now originally I was going to use this rather thick heavy duty battery cable because I was thinking of a lightning strike as a lightning conductor. Just earthing out the pole should reduce some of my background noise. I'm not so sure it's going to take that out. I think that is something entirely different. Just let me know in the comments. I was going to use this, but obviously this isn't going to be long enough because I've now extended the pole. If I just used ordinary sort of single core cable, do you think that would get me by? You know, just for now, just for sort of experimental purposes, and then maybe upgrade it to a thicker cable for a lightning strike. Let me know in the comments if you think I'll get away with that. But yeah, that's something I've been meaning to do, and hopefully, yeah, we'll get this copper cable in the ground in the next couple of weeks. Whew, I think that's about it. It's blimmin' hot in the shed, 32 degrees in the shed. It's ridiculously warm at the moment. I believe it's going to break into thunderstorms. So there you go, just I say, like a midweek video. I thought I'd just come along and explain to you a couple of things that I've already tried, a few things that I want to try. Yeah, I do think it's local. I don't think it's countrywide. I think this is definitely, I do think this is local interference. I've had it for a while. It's been going on at least 4 or 5 years. I've always seemed to have had this, so it'd be great if I could reduce it or sort it out. So that's it. Thanks ever so much for sticking with the video. There's the old thumbs up. Look out for the X-Phase video. That'll be the next one coming up. I've got some other radio stuff as well on the camera. I got a contact with a Charlie Tango on the 27555, a guy from Elstree. I'll need to put that up on the channel so he can sort of hear himself, and it just shows you how to get a contact and how to properly QSY off the 555, which a lot of people don't do. But yeah, that'll be coming up as well when I get a chance to edit it. But as always, as now, cheers, thanks for watching. Please stay safe, and yeah, catch you all on the next one. Oh,